Alright, today welcome to Milk and Honey Heritage Farm. Today we're going to start doing some seed mix, and we're starting out with, what size of a bucket would you say that is? 6 gallons? About 6 gallon bucket. You can start out with whatever size you want to, but we're putting in peat moss into this homemade sifter. And then what we're going to be doing is we're going to be spreading it out. See how there's these little twigs? We don't want these to be in our seed starting mix. So we're going to get this mixed around and pushed through into the wheelbarrow. And we're going to do equal parts of peat moss. And what's the next thing that we're going to add to this? Perlite. We're going to add the same amount of perlite. And then what else would we be adding? And then we're going to put in worm castings for fertilizer. Okay, and that's equal parts as well? You don't need to for the worm castings, but I like to do at least, a third. Okay, so a third of one of the original containers. Is that what you're saying? So yes. If you used one container of peat moss, one container of perlite, then you would use a third of that for the worm castings, correct? Yes. Okay. And so sifting through to keep all the bigger pieces out, because your seed starting mix needs to be nice and fine so the seedlings can grow through and root in your containers, your little pots that you do. And then the leftover we'll use for other stuff around the farm. Yeah, we can use the stuff for compost. You can use it on your borders or walkways, whatever you would like. You can also use it for mulch around trees or other plants that are established. So there's that, and then we'll show you after we get this done what it'll look like in the wagon.
All right, so these are the leftover twigs that are too big for seed starting mix. So we're just putting them in a container to do something else with them later. And this is the peat moss sifted. And then we'll just carefully go through just in case anything slipped through. So we used one container of the peat moss. Now we're going to put the same amount of perlite as the container we just did of the peat moss.
Looking for wind direction.
And what is this made out of? Could you tell me the process of what this product is?
No.
So this is stone that is ground into smaller pieces and then heated to a specific temperature, and then it pops up, and that's how you get your perlite. So it's a rock, a mineral. So now this is the same amount that we put in of the peat moss, of the perlite, and we'll give it a good mixing. Don't breathe the dust in. It's not good to breathe the dust in. And you just give it a nice mix, making sure that you get everything on the bottom mixed well. And what this does is it helps hold moisture and nutrients, and also allows good aeration for your seedlings. All right, so what are we doing here with these worm castings? How much are we going to add? So we did one of these, or 3/4 of this whole of the peat moss, 3/4 of it full of the what's the other stuff? I lost my train of thought.
Perlite.
Perlite. And then of the worm castings, we're going to do how much?
A third of this same bucket.
A third of the same bucket into our mixture. And then we're going to get this well mixed in, and that's our seed starting mixture that we're going to use. And then you just put them in your containers that you're going to do your seed starts in. So I hope this was helpful for some of you. Just make sure you mix everything real well. You'll want to moisten everything in your little seed trays. So don't forget to water, and happy gardening season. All right, so these are the leftover twigs that are too big for seed starting mix. So we're just putting them in a container to do something else with them later. And this is the peat moss. sifted, and then we'll just carefully go through just in case anything slipped through. So we used 1 container of the peat moss. Now we're going to put the same amount of perlite as the container we just did of the peat moss.
Looking for wind direction.
And what is this made out of? Could you tell me the process of what this product is?
No.
So this is stone that is ground into smaller pieces and then heated to a specific temperature, and then it pops up, and that's how you get your perlite. So it's a rock, a mineral. So there is the corn that I've started. There's some more corn there. I've got some seed trays stacked here, and I've got my mix for my inside the house seed starting mix. I'm going to add some water to it. You don't want to have your water soaking wet, you just want to have it moist. So add a little water and mix it really well, and then just keep adding water. And I'm going to make some seed snails, sorry. So I will take it along and make sure you get all around the edges. Of course, this needs more water because it's not all moist, but this is what you want. You don't want to squeeze it and have water just running out. So this is like almost a good mixture. I'll add just a pinch more water for my seed snails, and then I'll show you what those look like. All right, so I took my moistened seed starting mix and I've got it on a strip that I cut about 6 inches. It's not perfect, and that's fine. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to add the soil, the seed starting mix, sorry, onto the paper. And I'm going to cover the whole paper, probably about, I don't know, 1/2 inch or so thickness. And you're going to just cover it all the way to the top and all the way to the bottom and lightly patting it. And then what you do is you take it and you start rolling it like this. But first I have to get it all put into place. And then once you roll a roll as big as you want it, depending on how many seeds you've got, then you tape that end and you stick it in a tray like this, and you bottom water it, meaning you put water in here, not pouring it on the top. So after I get my seed snails done, then I'll stick my seeds in all around the top of the circle at the depth that the seed packages say to put them. So, oh, and I have a visitor. But anyways, let me work on this and I'll show you what it looks like when I'm done. All right, so I got my seed snail all ready to go. Now all I have to do is put the seeds in spaced out according to what the package says. You can do it a little bit closer, and you can make these as small or as big as you want. I can actually add more on to that if I wanted to. You know, whatever you need for whatever seed you're growing. And when you don't have to up pot these seed snail plants. You can harden them off just like you do any other plants that you harden off, bringing the whole tray outside with the seed snail just like that. And then once they're hardened off, you can directly sow them into or plant them into your garden space. So it saves a lot of space, and I really like it a lot better than using a whole bunch of bigger trays or having to up pot the trays to bigger things. So it goes really well. The seeds sprout pretty quickly and they grow like normal, and the roots just kind of go down like this, and the bottom watering keeps them watered. And then you have your lights if you're doing them inside. So thank you for joining me. I hope this gave you an idea of something that if you haven't tried it yet, you might want to try. So thank you for joining me. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next video. Thank you from Heather at Milk and Honey Heritage Farms.